Hey guys, this is EpicEpics here, bringing you guys our weekly replay analysis. Here you see is the screen for the pick and bans. The enemy team had the first pick and the first ban, and we want to start from here. So first you see they banned out the Darkseer, we banned out the Batrider, and then giving them first ban, we knew they would take either Meg or NA. Well, that's usually how it is. So they banned out the Meg, and then we decided whether or not to let the NA through, so we could maybe pick the Caudal afterwards, Caudal PL or something like that, but we decided against it and just banned the NA. They went ahead, first picked Caudal. This is something we need to improve on, but also showing in the G Leagues, Pro Leagues right now, Phantom Lancer and Caudal is just way too strong. So we block picked PL and picked ourselves a Shadow Demon. So that kind of prevents anything like Life Stealer, that prevents Shadow Demon from making PL images of their own. And then on their side, they went ahead with the Wisp Seven. That might be a practice strat that they're going for, or they might just have a really strong Wisp player that's been going Wisp. But anyways, they went Wisp, and right away we picked up Disruptor before the ban phase, because Disruptor versus the Wisp Seven is just super powerful. Wisp can bring Seven into, say, a team fight, and Seven will BKB. You can't glimpse the Seven back, but you will be able to glimpse the Wisp back. And once you do that, the Wisp actually is unable to take the Seven back with them, and Seven is dropped in a very precarious situation, as you will see later. So that's a really great counter for Wisp, and usually, you know, you ban the Disruptor before you pick the Wisp. So in the second ban phase, they banned out the Bane Elemental, probably because they wanted to they didn't want the Bane to, you know, disable their core carry Seven, and then they banned out the Brewmaster along with the Quap because they're thinking we're lacking a strong mid. We, on the other hand, knew they were lacking a side lane player, so we decided to ban out the Bounty Hunter and then the Syllabear. And why we banned out the TA was because they banned two strong mids, and we're thinking, hey, you know, if they do pick up the TA, that would be uncontested, right? There would be very little hero, maybe an Obsidian Statue, maybe someone like that to go against them, but still very strong. And we didn't mind any other hero too much during that that ban phase, so we went ahead, banned the TA. And then they picked up the Clockwork. So we thought this could be a mid Clockwork or an off lane. They weren't showing their hands. We decided to go Beastmaster because Beastmaster is good against Seven, and we thought they might be a core carry because they banned out the Bane. So, you know, Beastmaster does the same job but even better. So picked up the Beastmaster, but that actually was a mistake, sort of, because the Clockwork's rockets really counters the Beastmaster's Hawk. As long as you know estimate the vicinity of the Hawk, one rocket will be able to take out the Hawk's vision and give vision of their own. So their last pick was the Clockwork, was the Warlock, and that Warlock ended up being the mid-only hero. That actually makes sense. Clock is the initiation and Warlock is the counter initiation, where if we decided to lance rush up, if we, you know, glimpsed somebody inside, they could actually throw down the Warlock and then throw down the slowing field and turn a bad fight into a pretty good fight for them. As you guys see, that actually worked out quite well for them. In the final picking phase, we decided to go with the Omni Knight, as you guys see here. Now, the Omni Knight is actually we decided on the Omni Knight because we needed to tank through the damage of Seven, and Seven is a huge bursty hero, and knowing that, you know, with the Omni Knight repel and ultimate, the only real hard I guess counter for that would be a Diffusal Blade carrier. So like PL, picking Omni Knight versus a PL would be bad, where if they had a Potom or any hero on their time that could pick one up, and potentially in this team we didn't see that, and we thought it would have been a good pickup. On Skype with me is my good friend XKai and teammate. XKai, do you have anything to add to my pick and ban analysis so far?
I think you touched on most of it for the most part. My replay is bugging out, so I can't see the bans right now.
Okay.
But I think looking at into the second ban phase, we opted to ban against strong offlaners, right? Giving
Yes.
our given Elmo that potential 1v1 matchup because if we were looking to run aggressive and giving him a farming role.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We were thinking of
Yeah.
potentially running an aggressive tri lane versus the Seven. Contest his farm a little bit. Don't give him that, 3-minute Midas into drums into some crazy data list in 25 minutes where he's gonna be critting something like over 1k. That would be just ridiculous. We couldn't have that. We needed to contest him a little bit, even if it meant giving up the Phantom Lancer's farm, even if it meant giving our carry a lesser lane, right? So I think it's pretty good. Let's move on to the next part, guys. Before the game started, as you see, it's again the 5-man rotation. However, this time they got the better of us. We thought they might be here in the jungle, and as an offensive try, we really did not want them to pull, so we dropped that early ward there. And then here we kind of separated, where we kind of got caught in this choke point here, and they caught us in this wide open field. They were 5-man right here, and then we went ahead and pretty much got picked off one, gave a first blood to the Clockwork. So that strong 1v1 lineup turning out pretty badly for our solo lane right here, because this Clockwork gets an early 400 gold boost to his farm. So guys, you see, rotating during the right before the game starts as 5-man is actually crucial. Kai, what do you think of this play right here that happened?
Yeah, I think we were just caught unaware. We didn't realize that because we had a Beastmaster, they thought we were going to send them to the long lane or even just stack from the mid lane. So they rushed 5-man into our ancient stack to ward it.
Yeah.
And then they just caught us dozing off. And then as you can see, the Omni Knight slightly overextended, and that was the end of his life.
Yeah, pretty much. They probably were, like you said, they were estimating that Beastmaster would be the long lane, therefore Beastmaster could come here and pull the ancient stack, and that's why they went ahead and warded the ancient stack. One thing that's pretty interesting in this game is the positioning in our tri lane, and I want to go over that right now. So basically, on our team, we have the Shadow Demon, the Phantom Lancer, and the Disruptor. So it's more defensive. We cannot go too offensive. But right here, for them, it's such easy pickoffs for them. Stormbolt into the Wisp Tether into a full Counter Blast. One pickoff. So what is that? That's actually positioning. Usually in a defensive try, you want to stay back here. Where you see Gia is, where Kai is. He should be staying behind the carry because I have a doppelwalk, so I can go up and CS. It's alright if the supports do not get in experience range, because that means the carry will be taking full experience, and that is okay. And too many of these pickoffs, as you guys will see later, will result in the absolute demolition of this lane. We absolutely get demolished. Kai, what do you think of the positioning and everything that happened in that pickoff just now?
Yeah, especially since they have Sven Wisp. The moment that Sven hits level 2, you have to be careful, because he's going to get the speed from the tether, he's going to get the speed from the Warcry. So as you can see, our Shadow Demon got picked off a couple of times because he was too far forward.
Yeah, that's true. You guys see here, just with the tether and the boot, he has a movement speed of 413 with the tether buff. With the Warcry, it's something like 480. So absolutely crazy. And here, once again, our teammate, he gets rushed in, stunned on the tether, stunned into the bolt, one auto blast, and he's out of there. As I mentioned before, once your supports get picked off, you lose the lane completely because their support gets so much gold. And here you see the Wisp comes in with the dust. Then it's my turn to get picked off. Rushes in, even though Seven gets glimpsed back. Shadow Demon isn't here. I can't get disrupted or anything like that, and it's an instant pick off. Maybe with very clutch play, like if you were able to say, disrupt the target while the Stormbolt is flying in midair, then you could dodge the Stormbolt stun and the projectile damage. Maybe you could survive, but in this case, you already lost the lane. And Phantom Lancer with barely any farm by 7 minutes. I'm forced to actually go in the jungle because thank God I finished my Tranquil Boots and I could use up my full lance and use up my full mana with some lances, create some images, farm these 2 camps, get my level 5 at least. Now moving to the mid lane, you guys will see we have the Beastmaster versus the Warlock matchup. And if we go to our last hits and denies, the Warlock obviously is winning in last hits and denies. But our mid lane player with the haste rune counted down how the Warlock is gonna be, moving. He knew that the Warlock did not have enough mana for his ultimate, decided to pop the haste rune, roar onto him, cast the axe, and take him out. Kai, what did you think of that play right there?
Yeah, I think maybe the Warlock sustained a little bit too much damage over time, and not sure how it happened, maybe from chip damage from the axes and bottle crowing from the Beastmaster, but he should be able to top himself off with bottle crowing of his own, and he shouldn't ever be in that position, my opinion.
You know what, I think it's the fact that the axes pushes the lane back, therefore forcing the Warlock to take the experience under the tower, and that's why he was managing to take the rune for himself. Because whenever you can push the lane as a mid player, it's actually a huge advantage because you can no longer leave the lane to get the runes at that point because you will miss out on a whole chunk of experience.
Right. If you don't get the rune, then you should be bottle crowing.
Yes, that's true. It's definitely.
And this Beastmaster, since he went inner beast, instead of the Hawk, there shouldn't be any external harass damage onto the Warlock.
Yeah,
where he should.
Yeah,
sustain that much damage to be bursted.
That's true. And I just want to quickly go over the bottom lane because not too much action happened, but you guys see the Omni Knight lineup with the Warlock is a win for us. It's 31 and 9 last hits for the Omni Knight on the safe lane, and Clockwork is 23 and 2. So that's 50% more last hit compared to the Clockwork. So that's actually really well done by our by our player Elmo, because the Clockwork had the first blood, so he had the boots right to start, and he probably rushed arcane boots very fast to be playing against a player that had 400 gold advantage on you and come up on top. It's really quite something. So now this ends our analysis for the laning phase. Let's move on to team fights. Right here in the mid, our Shadow Demon overextended a little bit because he went to deny this tower, as you guys saw the text earlier. But that's okay, because that means this Clockwork and this Warlock dived really hard. So now Wisp and Sven is forced to TP in, and here, very clutch on our Omni Knight with the repel and the ultimate, able to save our Beastmaster, pick off the Wisp, and right here the Clock and the Warlock already out of position. Easy pickings for our Omni Knight, who had free farm, more farm than Sven. Turned out from a very bad situation to a good one for us. 2-for-1 trade. Kai, what did you think of that play right there?
Yeah, I think it was really good that all our supports came in and rotated instead of, and then this also bought time for PL to free farm bottom, but we ended up getting the tower deny and we traded a lot better than they did. They sacrificed pretty much 2 core heroes for it was the Sven that died, right? Well,
it was not the Sven. It was the Wisp and the Clock. But Clock definitely a core hero. Yeah, right. Especially in the early game.
Support. Yeah. For a support who denied the tower.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. For a support that denied the tower, and I think that's testament to our Omni Knight player right there. His fast reactions, able to come in at the right time and just enough to save the Beastmaster. To be honest, that was probably too close for comfort.
Yeah. But meanwhile, Sven isn't farming, and PL is.
Yeah, that's true. That's a big crucial point. And as you guys will see later, getting the farm on the PL, because we threw away the early game for the later 20 minutes, from 10 to 30 minutes, it's actually crucial. Here I want to show you guys the importance of rotation by the support. As soon as we see this, everybody actually TPs in, because we knew they might be coming. And then with that, Kai's able to get the glimpse off on the Kato, picking off the Kato right away. And here, the Clockwork taking massive damage. They're trying to focus me down, but let's not forget, we have an Omni Knight. And here, without any health, I'm chasing. But I make a mistake. I didn't look at the cooldown of the duration of the Omni Knight ultimate. I should have backed off a little earlier. With the full wand charge, I had more than enough to survive. That was a mistake from my part, but you know, we turned again a bad situation into a pretty good one for us, even though I got picked off. Kai, what did you think? Do you think, you know, our rotations were right? Do you think maybe we spent too many TPs there because everybody and their mom just jumped on this opportunity? What do you think about me? Should I have just lanced and backed off right away after ultimate, or should I have stayed and fight like what I did?
I think you could have backed off and like tranquiled up and like maybe stayed in the fight to pick up wand charges in case you could come back in and like just hide in the shadows.
Play less aggressively, right?
Right. But our TP was definitely needed because everyone contributed to that fight. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gone for 3-for-1. I think it was.
It was 2-for-1. I think it was Warlock and.
We got the Kato.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got the Kato at the beginning. Yeah. So it was Warlock. Sorry, it was Warlock, Kato, and the Wisp, right? Yeah. So yeah, and you know, I died needlessly as well.
Wisp then TP'd out.
Oh, Wisp and 7 TP'd out. So it was the clock. Yeah. But I mean, I died needlessly. It could have been a 3-for-nothing. But yeah, it was definitely a good fight. As you guys see with the Sven and the Wisp, they want to ward aggressively and go for pickoffs in our jungle. And here you see that they with Sven TP'd on our Disruptor, which is a big mistake because Disruptor will just, you know, glimpse back the Wisp, and here it is, Sven left in the enemy territory, 5 versus 1, picking off your carry like that, getting your carry picked off like that, and you know, that's why Disruptor is a crucial counter to the Wisp, and partly why Disruptor needs to be banned if Wisp gets picked up. What do you think, Kai?
Yeah, I figure Disruptor is a really strong hero against like Wisp lineups because in the early game, you can just glimpse back the hero that the Wisp is attached to, forcing them to go for a BKB first, and then once that happens, you just glimpse back the Wisp instead because the Wisp will never get a BKB, and then he provides so much utility to his carry, but he won't be there because he'll be glimpsed to the other side of the map.
That's true, and you're basically throwing your carry away, right? When you TP your carry into the enemy jungle to be aggressive, and then you get picked, you get left behind. There's no way the other supports can come. Like the position that we saw right here, there was absolutely no way any of the support could come back to help. Guys, I wanted you to look at the net worth now. As the Phantom Lancer, I had a horrible start. Actually, you guys see here, I'm 0-4. However, with some of that split pushing, I caught up in farm. And here you see the real turnaround team fight for us. They dropped the Warlock ult, and then right away, I can defuse it off. Even though we got hooked, initiated by the Clockwork with the Egnum Scepter, we have an Omni Knight that can sustain everyone. And while this team fight is happening, they can kite the Sven no problem, while it's very hard for their supports to kite me, who can Spirit Lance and defuse. And here you see 3 of their supports are already picked off, 1 of our supports is dead, and these 2 guys are left here. And with the Phantom Lancers Purge and the Spirit Lance, there's really no way when they're overextending and staying here to get away. So right now, with 4 of them picked off, we decide to go for the Roche. However, with a quick buyback coming in, I remember, that's right, with a quick buyback from the Sven, we back off, denying ourselves the Roche, but still turning around this game. Very close. My net worth is actually catching up to the Svens now. And PL, with the image farming, as long as you micro a little bit, you can farm the jungle and the lanes. And as you guys will see how the game snowballs from here, Phantom Lancer actually starts being super effective once the 40-50 minute mark comes, and you guys will see how the momentum of the game swings the other way. Kai, what did you think of that fight? What do you think this states for a game if you can pull off a fight like this? What were the factors you think actually that contributed to that team fight?
Yeah, well, when the clock hooked me, the Disruptor, the Kato actually, when he went to blast the other team, he blasted me out of the cogs. So that was a really good start to the fight for us. It gave me a lot of time.
I see. The Kato's blinding light that you're talking about, right? Blinding light.
Yes.
I see.
And then the Warlock ult was pretty much a non-factor because of our defusal.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened was their Wisp and Sven got split off to the side, trying to kill me with an Omni helping me. So
that's true.
even
So
though
they were
I
getting
died,
kited
it
everywhere.
takes a long time.
Yeah.
And in that time, we were able to get so many pickoffs on the other team because Sven wasn't there to stop the PL from wrecking havoc on the back lines.
Because, I mean, in a team fight, pretty much it's their carry going for our supports and our carry going for their supports, right? And it's who can pick off who first. And with the PL, with the images and the diffusal, it's really easy to chase down the supports. But with the Sven, the Wisp, pretty much it's one Stormbolt and you gotta burst everyone down. And our captain picking the Omni Knight, that was pretty much to counter that, right? It meant that they couldn't pick off our heroes right away. Not in the stun burst duration, that's for damn sure. So, you know, denying that, giving us the opportunity to go past that point, that's actually already crucial. Afterwards, all the Sven can do is use his movement speed to Warcry and chase. But then again, we have Degen Aura slowing him down, completely negating the fact that he has a Wisp movement speed buff along with the Warcry. Guys, I want to talk about positioning. One of our teammates, our newest teammate, Kengan, he got caught off here. But if you guys look at the minimap, it's very obvious that he's out of position. He's by himself here, and you know, he gets picked off. But because they're so close, because of the long range on the clockwork, we can't even back off properly. That means we're forced into a team fight 4 versus 5. You know, this Wisp and Sven TP's in after the Warlock, after the clock, you know, rushes in, and the Warlock drops his ultimate. So it's a very bad team fight for us, and I think only 2 of us managed to survive. However, they overextend, and that's a saving grace on our part. First of all, they won't be able to pick off the Omni Knight. I back off thinking, hey, Omni Knight's probably dead, but no, he repels himself. He doesn't get the TP off, but with the repel, he just keeps running and running and running, and I realize, hey, I'm reaching up with the heart. I'm back to full HP. Let's take this.
Yeah,
and you guys see, you know,
yeah,
the Degen with the Degen Aura, with the Shivas, you know, able to kite them around, and you know, they are still overextending. The clockwork hooks in, gets picked off, and you know, this is great for us. But actually, with the very start of the team fight, that pickoff was very crucial. That was a very bad start. That was not something you guys want to do. Make sure on the team, on the map, you know, on your positioning, you're with your team. Make sure you don't get picked off like what happened there. And as you guys see here, we actually managed to pick off the clock along with the Warlock, and we got the Kato earlier. So it was 3 for 3. Turned out to be an even team fight, but you know, once again, the crucial point of this was not be out of position, stay with your team. That way you can move as 5. If you back off, you're backing off as 5. If you're going in, you're going in as 5. Otherwise, with a pick off, with something like Wisp Sven with a clock, you know, easily come in, cut you off, force you into a bad engagement. What do you think, Kai?
Well, and you might think that like it's not a big deal for for a support to get picked off, even because he's the lowest level and then lowest net worth in the game. But without that Shadow Demon, the BKB Sven is running around. There's no Demonic Purge to stop him, and there's no defensive disrupt to save whoever gets jumped on.
And while
first.
you were talking about this, I had my screen on one more of the Wisp and Sven. We traded, they dived in onto our Beastmaster, but once again, you know, you come in as a disruptor, you glimpse back the Wisp, Sven is left in enemy territory. If you guys look at the net worth graph on the top left side of the screen, PL now is ranked 1, and you see I'm 4 slotted along with an Aegis. However, in a team fight, it's actually really important that you stay effective. Here I was top split pushing, creating some images, so the team fight starts without me. And here I do not receive the Omni Knight duration of the ultimate, and I come in. But you know, right away you see the Warlock with the slow. I'm running around like an idiot. I can't do anything, and I make a pretty big mistake. My team was pretty mad at me. So you know, with the Wisp and Sven, I'm fighting. Clockwork gets hooked at the back, and he's almost taking out everyone here. So they're shouting, hey, come back, take out the Clockwork, take out the Clockwork. But I'm here trying to chase the Warlock. I fail on the Warlock, then Wisp Sven stuns me. I get hexed by the Keeper of the Light, and my Aegis gets picked off. The Clockwork here is now bringing everybody's HP down very, very low, and he managed to pick off 2 of our supports already, you know, and I actually have to back off without being able to do anything because Sven with the Wisp, I actually am not strong enough without my images. So that was a bad engagement. Despite net worth being that high, I was actually less effective this fight than my earlier fights. What did you think of that, Kai?
Yeah, I think it's important to keep your supports alive, because if you keep your supports alive, they'll keep you alive. Like, Shadow Demon went in to save the Beastmaster, but then the clock just turned and killed him.
But,
and
you know, I was actually doing the same as the other team fight. I was chasing for their supports while they were chasing for you guys. What do you think was different in this fight that, you know, required me to actually stay back?
Well, when you tossed your first lance, the Wisp and Sven already TP'd back, and you could see that they TP'd from their base. So immediately, we had maybe like a 10-second window of just us turning and killing the clock before the Wisp and Sven actually ran back into the fight, because they TP'd from their top tier 3 tower, so they were nowhere near the fight when they got TP'd back, right? The Wisp made the mistake of not untethering and leaving the Sven in the fight. So we should have capitalized on that opportunity.
And just picked off their supports that were left behind, right?
Exactly.
But thank God, as you guys see, with the high net worth, you know, you're actually able to pick off these guys, no problem. And despite my net worth being that high, because of the Aegis, I actually didn't spend my money, so I actually have less items than Sven. But, you know, with this point though, I managed, I think I pick up a Manta right away, that's right. And then we pretty much have the game. As you guys will see, I'll show you guys the end team fight in a second. Pushing with the Phantom Lancer, guys, you can always force your images uphill, give you guys that uphill vision, see what's going on, so you don't ever have to run in blind. Then, okay, this is the initiation. Perfect initiation on their part. Wisp and Sven TPs in, Clockwork rushes in with the Warlock ult. However, with the Omni Knight, we're not afraid of getting bursted down, and the PL at this point is so farmed, instantly takes out 2 of the support. Guys, look at the damage. With the curse on the different heroes, this is the end of the game. So, you know, going from 0-4 on the Phantom Lancer, and then right away, you know, coming back with the net worth of 27k, getting your 4 slots, your 4 main items, and taking the game. Kai, what did you think of this game? You know, the back and forth swings and just everything. If you look at the graph, you know, we were down in the first 37 minutes of the game in terms of gold, and in terms of experience, we were down the first 15 minutes, and it came a huge dip at the 30-minute mark. You know, what were these swings? What made them come back? Was it the team fights that we showcased?
Yeah, I think we were able to come back from our early deficit with like really good coordinated team fights that let our PL get back in the game, because once our PL came back and was on par with the Sven, there was no looking back pretty much, unless we like team fought horribly wrong.
That's true.
But other than that, it should be in the bag, because we had a Beastmaster and Shadow Demon for lockdown on the Sven, who was their primary way of dealing with the PL illusions, and past that they have nothing to stop the PL. And as you can see, the Sven won Mask of Madness, so that makes them even more vulnerable.
And it actually, the Omni Knife forces the Diffusal carrier where, you know, they have none. They've had a Diffusal on the Clockwork at the end of the game, but that was really forced, and that's honestly, he couldn't go that first, right? He needed something else first to tank up, to make his ultimates more effective. So, you know, in the end, I think the Omni Knight pick was crucial. Getting that free farm on the Omni Knight, trading it for the Phantom Lancer. It worked out this time. I don't know if I would trade it every time, per se, you know. I was definitely not having a good time being 0-4. I don't know, you know, how it could have turned out. You know, I did catch up in farm and actually ended up having 13 kills without 1 death. But you know, if the Omni Knight was not able to be as effective, then, you know, essentially we traded, I guess, a support for a carry. What do you think about that? Do you think we should always run something like this, even though it worked out this time? Do you think maybe it was just luck, maybe some mistakes on the enemy's parts?
Well, it's kind of similar to what LGD International did against IG in Game 1 of the G League Finals, where they sacrificed their Nake's farm for a Batrider in hopes of a Blink Dagger, because you go for the early aggressive play and like you get a strong hero like Omni Knight or Batrider and create like that early advantage so that it gives space for your carry to farm.
It didn't work out for LGD though, sadly. You know, they had a 5-minute Blink Dagger on the free farming Batrider, but didn't really quite pan out. And so yeah, I guess the strategy is there. Even the best of the best use it, but whether or not it works out, it'll depend on the dynamics of the game. I guess it's just like a tri-lane, right? It's just like a tri-lane. You know, it might not work out as well as a dual lane, but that's a strategy that you guys just have to try. Anyways, I hope this replay analysis was thorough, and I hope you guys found it enjoyable. Please comment, like, and subscribe. This will be a weekly thing. See you guys next week in the replay analysis. Look out for the final giveaway winners video, along with the coming up giveaway at the end of this month. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.
Peace.